co-founder and CEO of Angel Blue, a full-stack angel network dedicated to supporting startups through funding and strategic guidance. With over 27 years of experience in banking and the automotive industry, he has played a crucial role in fostering innovation and entrepreneurship. He also serves on the advisory board at MBA Gurgaon Incubation Center and mentors budding entrepreneurs through TIE and various university programs. Today, he will be leading a highly engaging session on prototype creation workshop for product development. This workshop will equip participants with practical insights on transforming innovative ideas into tangible prototypes, streamlining the development process, and refining products for market readiness. I would request all the faculty members present here to please present a green welcome to Mr. Manish Verma. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
Slightly better. We had lunch.
Yes, sir.
Good one.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, good afternoon. I think sincere thanks to the management of SG College for this wonderful initiative. I think this is the needed to hour. Just to give a quick background. So I think today we're going to talk about a very important topic. The whole topic is about prototyping. We'll try and understand various aspects of prototyping. What is a prototype? What is the MVP? What are the broad challenges? We'll look at some case studies. How do we overcome these challenges? What are the different steps that one needs to take to undertake the process of prototyping? Okay. Before that, a quick background about myself and the company I represent. So, my name is Manish Verma. I run this company called Angel Blue. We have two co-founders. I come with a corporate background of 20 years. Been with the auto industry for 8 years, having worked with Kinetic Honda, Toyota and General Motors. Switched to banking. 12 years as a hardcore banker. Last when I quit, I was a country head for international banking for a private sector bank. I was managing the India piece. That is when I left everything, came back to Chandigarh and started, became an entrepreneur. I have with me Saurabh Agarwal, who's an alumnus of IIM Calcutta. He runs Angel Pay. So Angel Pay is an equal co-founder with me in Angel View. We have Project Raut. He runs a VC firm. His VC firm is named Carrot Capital. They have specific domains which they work on. So this is as of now we have three team members. We recently onboarded Mr. Vivek Atri as an advisor to our company. We are in the process of strengthening our advisory board. So as if we talk about my company, this is what we do. So we have basically four verticals. One is we run an angel network platform. We have close to about 250 odd investors in the platform, spread across the country, mostly India. We have few investors based out of US, UK and Middle East. But 90-95% of investors are based out of India. Through these investors, we invest in early stage startups, post-revenue. We also invest in pre-IPO and unlisted shares. This is one part of the whole business. Secondly, we do a lot of advising and consulting, one-to-one, in terms of business strategy, operations, business scale-up. We run accelerators along with academic institutes. We've just finished 2 accelerators. The first one was with ISL Mohali. Second one we just finished last month along with Baba Farid University and Bathinda. Both the demo days happened in the IT Delhi because that is where the bulk of the investor base is. We also run academic entrepreneurship boot camps and courses for institutes. So as of now we have 3 courses going on. One is for Chatkara, Baba Farid and CGC Junjeri, wherein we teach students, undergrad students, postgraduate students all about startups. What is a startup? What is entrepreneurship? If you have an idea, this is that idea, how do you convert that into a business plan? How do you launch it? What are the marketing strategies? How do you create a pitch deck? How do you face investors? So ABC of startup industry, that is what we do. Okay. Then we have a lot of these third-party service providers through which we offer end-to-end services. For example, if any startup wants help in terms of company incorporation, legal, taxation, branding, website, mobile app, if you want help in terms of, you want a brand ambassador, a sports person, cricketer, film star, you want to get your product uploaded on a marketplace model like Flipkart or Amazon, we get that done. Okay, so this is the complete range of services which we provide. Just a quick one. Last 2 odd years, these are the companies and industries where we invested. We have invested in close to about 20 odd companies across different industries. These are the ecosystem partners in terms of acceleration partners, entrepreneurship boot camps, investment partners. So we're doing a lot of work with IIT Ropar, Punjab University, MDI Gurgaon, Chitkara. So this is just to name a few, ICFI Gurgaon. So these are some of the ecosystem partners with which we work closely. Okay. So my only request is, now that we'll start, I think I'll try and make it interactive, because there is enough Gyan available in here. So I have not come here to give Gyan. If somebody wants Gyan, I think easiest way to get Gyan is log on to internet, Google search, and whatever information you want, you can get it from there. I think the whole purpose of these kind of sessions is to make it interactive, so that as a process, along with everybody learns, right? So before we start, a quick one. What is prototyping? Anybody? When we say it is very important to build a prototype before we launch a business or a concept, क्या मतलब होता है? What does it mean?
Initial basic like model of the business.
Model of the business. Okay. Okay, one is model of the business. What else?
A kind of a pilot project for the business to check if it will actually work in a scaled up manner.
Pilot project to check if it will work in a scalable model, right? Okay.
A kind of sample of a product or service.
Sample of a product
Or a service.
or a
Initial
service.
sample like MVP kind.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Blueprint of the business.
Blueprint of the business. Okay. Anybody else?
A demo at a lower investment, initial investment.
Demo at a lower initial investment, with a lower cost. Okay. I think good points. Anything we're missing out? Is there anything we've missed out so far? What is prototype? And what is the difference between prototype and MVP? These two might appear to be the same, but दोनों same नहीं होता है. There's a small difference between MVP and prototype. Yeah. So, okay, we'll come to this point. Okay. So prototype, so what is prototype? It's a very, very early version of the product or the concept. So let's look at both the things individually. एक होता है prototype, one is a MVP. Okay, you start out with the prototype. You start out with a prototype. Okay, so होता क्या है? It's basically a concept. I have something in mind which I feel that is needed in the market, but I'm not sure it will work. So I create a basic platform, a basic small version, no frills, no fancies, no designs, no colors, a basic concept depending upon the need that I'm going to service in the market. उसको I take it to the market. I identify who are my target customers. 140 crores की population है, उसमें out of this population of 140 crores, who are my target customers, who are expected to be having this kind of problem. So उनको identify करके I take this product or the concept to the market, I get it tested out. I test the concept. ठीक है? To and fro iterations. I get a feedback. I come back, do my homework. I again go to the market. This to and fro thing keeps on happening for some time. I get a feedback, and this is what the market needs. Then I come back and I make a MVP. MVP क्या होता है? What is MVP? Minimum viable proposition. Okay. So MVP follows the prototype. While prototype is a very, very basic initial concept stage, MVP is once we've got clarity that ये ठीक है, ठीक है? That is when we create a basic product, right? I think let's look at a different aspect. Why is prototyping important? Why do you think? Although I will cover it. Why do you think prototyping is important?
Risk management.
One is risk management. Can you elaborate on that?
Like अगर एक साथ बड़ा सा एकदम स्टार्ट कर दिया आपने तो आपका फेल होने का चांसेस ज़्यादा होता है. अगर आप
आप छोटे से स्टार्ट करोगे then you will know कि ये वर्क कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा है.
Exactly, bang on. Good, very good. Anybody
मार्केट
else?
रिसर्च में भी काम आता है.
Hmm?
मार्केट रिसर्च में.
Market research में काम आता है. I think good point. Anybody else from here?
So value proposition में बहुत ज़्यादा काम आ सकता है.
Can you define what is value proposition?
Value proposition means कि वर्थ कितनी है. रियलिटी में प्रोडक्ट को मार्केट में लॉन्च करने से पहले हम एक प्रोटोटाइप इन द सेंस उसका डुप्लीकेट समथिंग कुछ ऐसा लॉन्च करते हैं जो वैल्यू वही देगा बट अभी तक हमने रियलिटी.
So value proposition is something, in simple words, the value which I am giving to the customer, whatever his need is, उस need को identify करके I come up with a product or a service. उस product or service से what need of his I am trying to serve. ठीक है? So one is idea validation. The most important advantage of prototyping is, as a concept, I may be convinced that this product or this idea is very good, but will my market accept it? If my market, there are 1,000 examples in the internet. I mean, you can search. We'll also come. We have an important case study towards the last slide. The company failed. One of the reasons was there was no market validation. Before coming to the case study, let's understand concepts क्या क्या है. ठीक है? So one very important reason why prototype is important is it validates the concept. इसकी acceptance market में है कि नहीं. Will customers be willing to pay for this product or service or no? Number two, problem identification. There is need in the market. Okay, there is a need in the market. उस need का is this product or service the right solution or is it an alternative? Or have I understood the need properly? ठीक है? We'll look at examples gradually. Cost efficiency, she was very clear. Initial stages में it is very easy to correct the mistakes. We are just starting off, right? When we start a vehicle from neutral, we go to first gear, second gear, third gear. While the car is still standing, it is on neutral stage में, it is possible to correct the mistakes with minimal cost impact. In terms of time, energy, money, take it, the impact is very less. So it is very easy and less costly to correct the mistakes at an early stage. User testing, whatever we are making, ultimately उसका फायदा क्या है? It is going to be used by the end user. If the end user is not convinced, there is no point getting into it, right? Stakeholder communication. Who are stakeholders? When we say stakeholders, what are stakeholders? What do you mean by stakeholder?
The one who invested in the company.
One who is invested in the company. Okay, one is that. What else? Customers.
Like people who are directly or indirectly linked to our business.
Directly or indirectly linked to a business. Okay, good point. Anything else? I think she's right. So anybody who is directly or indirectly linked to a business. So for a typical company, who are the stakeholders? If I am the owner of a company, मेरी company के who are the stakeholders? My co-founders, my employees, my customers, my bankers who are giving me money, my prospective current customers and prospective customers, my media people, because they are the ones who would be talking about my company. So everybody, as she said, anybody who is indirectly or directly associated with the company is a stakeholder. So stakeholder communication means if I am working on something as a concept, that concept has to be properly explained to the stakeholder, right? So in simple words, prototyping क्या होता है? It's not about building something. It's an iterative process. I make something, I go to the market, I test it out, I learn, I keep improving regularly. So it's a continuous process. This is not a one-time thing कि मैंने एक बार market में launch करा, I get an idea, I work on it, I improve it, and I finally launch it. Till that time, I am convinced. Till that time, customers keep giving me feedback. Okay. Let's take the example of Zomato. Anybody knows the story of Zomato? How did Zomato start?
Like when Dipender was working in his office, so in a canteen they have to scan a menu card.
Okay, take it. Good try. Good try. Yes.
As per the founder's interview, so he said that during his working in a company, so he got.
Sit. Don't worry.
So in the lunch time, so they had menus of different restaurant options. So they were all stacked and he had to check for each menu and open it up. So what he did, he launched a prototype, he made a software with all the menus. And
Okay.
from there on they, diverged into delivering business and connected it with the menu scanning.
Chicken, I think good try. I think almost there. Bang on. Anybody else? Any different version to the story? Yes, please.
Sir, I think Dupinder was there in his office. He was sitting in the canteen and he was observing the food over there. And he was thinking that the food is just boring and there's nothing new. So what he did was he just took one menu from the nearest restaurant and kept it there. So one person ordered it. When he observed that everyone is ordering from that single menu, he kept more and more and more menus over there. Then he recognized that if there are all people who are ordering from menus, why not create a prototype on it? And that prototype was simply a website over there, and then it was started from there.
I think good, very very good. This is the actual version, but from a concept point of view, let's forget for a moment that Dupinder or the other co-founder, whoever was it, I think Pankaj Chadha, whoever, what उनके mind में क्या है? From a user perspective, let's imagine today there is no Zomato, there is no Swiggy. Okay? I am sitting in my house or I am sitting in my office. I want some good quality food which is healthy, hygienic, safe to order, quick in terms of delivery, and affordable, and multiple cuisine. I mean, Chinese, Conti, Punjabi, South Indian, whatever. Okay? So sitting at home, I wish there was an option where I could order food sitting at home or office. Okay? Food which can be delivered to my residence, jaldi, sasta, in a very safe packing, which is hygienic. Right? This is the overall concept. How this company started was, initially it wasn't called Zomato. The company's name was
Foodie Bakery.
Foodies Baked. Okay? So initially when they started off was, the initial premise was, I am sitting at home, I wish I could have an idea कि मेरे घर के आसपास which are those restaurants where I can go and eat food. So their basic idea was they created a website. They started doing some research within a radius of few kilometers, whichever restaurants were there. Okay, उसका list निकाल के they uploaded them on the website. They thought the product is ready. They went to the market in terms of product, in terms of feedback. They went to the market, did some research. Customers said, restaurants to hai, but what is there in the restaurant? What do I get? Where is the menu card? This is a valid point. The people, the founders came back to the office. They worked on a drawing board. They reworked their website, added the menu card also. They again went back to the market. They said, is it done? Customer says, listening is there, menu is there, but how do we know your food is good? What about customer satisfaction? What about user reviews? Is this taken? Point taken? They again came back to the company. They reworked on the website their product. They incorporated the user reviews also. So this process kept on happening till the time customers were happy. Sitting at home, I had the provision. I can log into the Zomato app. I could see कि मेरे घर के आसपास, ऑफिस के आसपास, which are those restaurants? उस रेस्टोरेंट में कौन सा खाना है? What is there in the menu card? What do people say about that particular cuisine or food or restaurant? Check it, and I'm satisfied. I can place. So I'm just trying to share with you. This is how this entire process of prototyping works. You start small. You keep building on it. You keep going back to the market, taking feedback, come back, improvise, go back to the market. This iteration to and fro keeps on happening, right? Some examples, Ola Electric. How did Ola Electric start? What did they do?
Prototype.
Prototype.
They
उसमें
made
क्या था? What did they work on as a prototype?
They worked on as in they wanted to know what the customers want. So they made a basic scooter or a two-wheeler. Then they asked customer reviews, what the features they require. So step by step they added all those features which made it more customer friendly and economical as well.
Perfect. So they started off with the simple functionality of the product. Product में क्या feature, the design. They kept on trying to improve because their premise was, their assumption was, for an electric scooter, the most important thing is आपका basic design, features, and the battery. If they could sort out the battery issue, they're home. They launched it. Customers said, "No, we want more." That is, after repeated iterations, they came up with this concept of smart dashboard. They made a mobile app उस मोबाइल को इंटीग्रेट करा उसके साथ, so now it's a fully functional thing. That is how Ola Electric started. Zomato we just discussed. Embrace innovations, right? What does the company do? The company, this company makes this baby warmers for early infants. Basic product banaya, they launched it, they didn't launch it. They went back to the hospitals, took a lot of feedback from hospitals, nurses, staff, doctors. They kept on improvising and finally launched the product. Logged in materials. What does the company do? They work on energy solutions and nanotechnology. They make this aluminium fuel cell technology. Again, very high-fi, very complicated, but they didn't launch it directly. Took a lot of feedback. Practo, what is Practo? Anybody's heard about Practo? Sorry?
It is a site where you can book doctors.
What is the advantage? What is that core need that is being looked at, which is being serviced in the market? ऐसी कौन सी need है because of which Practo was launched?
Without waiting at the hospitals, you can directly book your appointments and you can go on time. That the waiting period which you had to wait there, that is cut off.
So excellent. Anybody else? What does Practo do? So Practo, as you said, is basically a platform. वो platform क्या करता है? If I go to a hospital, let's say Fortis, within the hospital there are a lot of doctors, right? You have different departments. You have ENT, you have skin, you have cardiology, you have orthopedics, you have dental, all eye care. You have within a hospital ecosystem, you have multiple doctors. But getting into a hospital is not easy. It takes too much of time. So I, as a patient, sitting anywhere, I want a provision where I should be able to book an appointment with a doctor, whichever part of the country, doctor of my choice, my specialization, and as per my convenience also. So Practo guys, उन्होंने क्या करा? They created a platform. It's a marketplace model. Doctors of different specialization across the country, city-wise, service providers, patients एक तरह. As a patient, I can simply log onto the platform. I can select city, Mumbai or Chennai or Chandigarh or Bangalore. उस city में whichever doctor I want to show, based on my comfort, based on my convenience, based on my location. Bangalore में where do I want to show? Whether I want to show it to Koramangala or whichever part, Bombay में कहाँ पर, Delhi में कहाँ पर, ठीक है? Based on my convenience, my comfort, I can pick and choose a doctor, time and date. ठीक है? But this is the end product. But they started off with a very small concept. They kept on working on it. So these are all live examples in terms of platforms which have actually used this concept of prototyping. So typically, what is the process? So we say कि prototype करना चाहिए, but how do we do it? So normally there's a 8-step process. The first step is define the objective. करना क्या चाहते हो? What do you want to do? Let's say for example, I am a founder. I am very innovative. I am very, I have a lot of ideas. ठीक है? ऐसे India में, let's say world, across the world, 70% of the land, 70% of the places all water. But if you go to rural areas, there's no water. There's no potable water. पीने का पानी नहीं है, but the world 70% is water. Out of this 70%, 97% of this water is salt water, right? So if we can do something with technology build करके, we can clean this water and make it potable, and that's an idea. So what am I thinking? I say rural areas में how can I improve the quality of drinking water? So why don't I look at making a low cost water purifier? There's something in my mind, ये बनाना चाहता हूँ. Next step, assemble a team. Based on the product or the service, I need specialists. उन specialists can make a team. Understanding user, out of 140 crore population, I see कौन सा population है, which part of the population would be interested to go in for this low cost water purifier. I identify the customer, I do the segmentation, demographics, psychographics and lifestyle. What are demographics? Demographics. कैसे करते हैं? What is demographic segmentation?
Age,
Age, gender, income group. Psychography क्या होता है? What is psychography? These are different ways of segmenting the market. What is psychography?
based on their
Thinking process.
mentality.
Let's say for example, assuming I'm a regular customer of Zomato, how frequent do I order? When I order, what kind of cuisine I order? what is my average order value, कितना, कब, कितनी frequency में. So what the company is doing is they are trying to understand my thought process, my behavior, my patterns. This all this comes under psychographic. Okay? Then location, whether it's a tier 1 city, tier 2, tier 3, metro, urban. So using all these parameters, you segment the market of 140 crores. If you're looking at the India market, उसमें से you create a persona of the customer. That this person is my ideal customer. उस ideal customer को identify करना. That is my third step. ठीक है? For this, you brainstorm ideas. This is the need. What is the need? To create a low-cost water purifier. पानी लाओ. Use some technology. उसको purify करो. And you offer it and you make it available to the public at large in rural areas. कैसे करना है? What kind of product do we make? What kind of solution? What kind of service do we offer? You brainstorm. You brainstorm using multiple technologies, multiple tools. There is a tool called mind mapping. Anybody knows what is mind mapping? What is mind mapping?
Creating in the form of maps, like the flow charts and all.
Flowchart उसमें होता क्या है? You're right, but next step, what do we do in that?
Just create a basic idea, cloud, and then उसके आसपास बनाने कौन से उसके अलग
उसमें क्या होता है? What is the content of that?
The thought process or the possibility of the thoughts that the customer can go through and making the product, or like it is generally used when making a website. कि customer कौन साइट के पेज के कौन से एरिया को पहले देखेगा, उस हिसाब से उसको इंटरेक्टिव और अट्रैक्टिव बनाया जाता है. So that is as per mind mapping.
Bang on. Anybody else? A different version? Yeah, please.
सर किसी विजनरी आइडिया को एक पेपर पे अपने थॉट प्रोसेस पे या पिक्टोरियल या जैसा भी आपको
ठीक है. My next question is उसमें होता क्या है? So just to clarify, mind mapping is as a company I am trying to understand. अगर मैं customer हूँ, as a customer, what is going on my mind? What am I thinking? What am I listening to? What am I seeing? Who are my influences? What am I saying to myself? How does my mind operate? So companies use this tool of mind mapping to understand the एक psychographic profile of a customer. कि as a customer क्या सोचता है, क्या करता है, किस चीज़ से influence होता है, who are the influences, what is he exposed to on a day-to-day basis, किन चीज़ों से he is getting influenced. That is what mind mapping is. ठीक है? So you as a company we incorporate multiple tools like mind mapping, ठीक है, to come up with the insights. तो brainstorming करो, उसके बाद then we create using the information that we have, ठीक है, then we create a basic designs. This is एक basic sketch, basic designs, basic concept, एक platform, website और mobile app, ठीक है. Using those insights from brainstorming, customer identification, उसकी needs, वैसे मैं क्या करना चाहता हूँ, the fifth step is I create a basic design of the product or the service which I want to offer. उसको then if it is a manufacturing thing, I select the right kind of materials. अगर कोई CNC machine है, I use what kind of materials. कोई manufacturing tool है, उसमें क्या material use करना है, ceramics use करना है, steel use करना है, aluminum use करना है. Depending upon the product, I use the respective relevant material. Seventh is I build the prototype. Eighth is I go to the market, do my research, take feedback, come back to the step. So typically this is what the process of prototyping looks like. Yeah.
So like prototype what gives some kind of automobile engineering or some kind of that type of robotics something. So is it also valid for like the case of service providing startup?
Yes. So prototype, you're right, it may sound like something very hi-fi, very technical, very manufacturing centric, but wait, it is just a perception. Prototype can be applicable for a design, for a service or a product, or a physical product, something concrete. It doesn't matter, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, right? Another few examples of companies which have used prototyping. Anybody has heard about this company called Chumpak? Yeah? What do they do? क्या करते हैं? Sorry? Okay. How did they start? They started off with refrigerator magnets. That is how this name came up. They made these magnets cater to a very significant, very small percent of population. Gradually kept on taking feedback from market. Magnets kept on doing well. They gradually moved into the home decor, home products, right? Your smart irrigation systems. Again, what do? It's a technology using IoT, Internet of Things. They try and work on the irrigation systems. There is overflow of water from a tube well, your pipe mein. They use different sensors to control and regulate that. All this happened thanks to prototyping. Aether's energy electric scooters, again, like Ola scooters, they also use this. This machine, ethereal machines, CNC machines, very, very technical, right? So what do? They made blueprints for the machines. Basic banaya, when it's a B2B model, went to the prospective customers or existing customers, took a feedback, told them, iska ye use karenge, iska ye output hoga, this is how it's going to benefit them. They took feedback from customers, kept on improvising, and finally launched their products, right? Okay, we've used this to discuss this. Okay. Why is prototyping important? I think briefly we covered initially. Okay, validating. Unless you validate your concept, I may think, see, business mein there is nothing like I think, I feel, it is all data based. If your product or concept is not data based, it is bound to fail. Anybody has heard about this company called product called Google Glass? Suna Google Glass? What happened to it? What was Google Glass and why did it fail?
It was like a link between Google Meet and the
Google?
It was a combination where they provided the softwares with using which the schools can take on their schools on the internet for students.
I think this is separate. Google Glass was something else. Google Glass was basically your spectacles with an internet, right? That's I think that you may be right, but that's उसका नाम पूछा लगता है. This. हाँ. So this is Google Glasses. This is a pair of specs. उसमें they had this internet inside. You could take it anywhere and you could click. You can record. You can So that was slightly. People didn't take it a right sense. The whole thing was the company spent billions and trillions of dollars, but they failed to do a proper validation. The product bombed. Product failed. They had to withdraw the product. People were not willing to accept a product that I am wearing a pair of specs, I can go anywhere, I can record audio, video, and it is a question of privacy. It was supposed to revolutionize the entire industry. Ultimately, it actually bombed. All thanks to one simple process. They did not do proper. They failed to identify the market, who their target customer is. They went ahead, spent trillions and trillions of dollars, launched the product, but product failed. Yeah. So validation of your concept is very, very important. Second, encouraging innovation. So just a question: what is innovation and what is creativity? And how are the two different? Difference between innovation and creativity. Anybody? What is creativity and what is innovation and how are these two different?
I have read it there.
Sorry?
I've read it there. It's written creativity is like कोई idea आया मुझे तो that's creative. Innovation is उसको idea को iterate करते रहो बार-बार उससे feedback लेते हो उसको ठीक करो तो then is innovation.
Is she right? Yes, I'll come back to it.
Creativity can require many things to you only.
Creative होता क्या है? When you say creativity, what does this mean? What is creativity?
नया बनाने की creativity, innovation है कि आप किसी दूसरे का सोच के कुछ बना रहे हो.
Yeah. Okay.
Creativity, sir, like importance can be written in different text languages, in different designs. That is creativity. And innovation stands for what Steve Jobs did in Apple, and MacBook came after, a new thing which is doesn't exist before, and by using your mind you take that into the market.
I think all of you are correct in your own terms. In my sense, creativity क्या होता है? Creativity is nothing but a new idea. कुछ बिल्कुल नया idea. If I have a different idea, okay, that is creativity. How do I work on the idea? That is innovation. For example, I take the example of Ola and Uber. Okay. Before Ola and Uber, as a customer, मेरी need क्या है? What is my need? My need is that if I want to go from A to B, I need a transportation service which is reliable, safe, economical. I can go myself, I can send my family members, my mother, daughters, wife, sister. ठीक है? I can track. ठीक है? ये idea है. This is creativity. कि क्यों ना मैं ऐसे idea पे काम करूँ? This is creativity. Innovation is I use the technology. I created a platform to solve that idea, to service that idea. So innovation is the how part. मैंने करा कैसे? Creativity is करा क्या? Right? Creativity is something when I do something new. That is a creativity. I'm thinking out of the box. कुछ नई चीज कर रहा हूँ. And innovation is the way I go about solving that problem. कैसे करा मैंने? Right? So encouraging innovation. I have a new concept. I do work on something. I take it to the market. Get market feedback, come back to and fro. While working on this, I am being innovative. कि क्यों ना ऐसे कर लें? क्यों ना ऐसे कर लें? I brainstorm. I apply my mind. I speak to people. ठीक है? So during the process of iteration, the process of prototyping also helps in innovation, right? Cost and time efficiency. I think I'm sorry, I forget the lady's name. You said the cost. You said. So she was right. Prototyping actually helps you in reducing the cost, right? Initial stages it is very, very easy to correct the mistakes at a very minimal cost and time involved. Once you launch it, it becomes very, very difficult. Stakeholder communication, I think we've discussed this. Enhancing user feedback, it actually helps to get a direct feedback from the customer. Who is my customer? Before launching it, I am getting a feedback from him whether this will work or no, right? Testing feasibility, I am able to test it out. And mitigating risks, again, same point. So when we say prototyping is very important, it helps in various things, validating concept, testing and all, but there are some challenges also associated. Now what are those challenges? Why is it important? Why is it so difficult to do prototyping? Okay, resource constraints. Initially, when you start a company, you don't have resources. So resources can be in terms of money, in terms of people, in terms of time, in terms of a physical office space. With a very limited budget, you are asked to work on a concept. There are resources constraints. That puts reverse pressure. That's a big challenge. Isko kaise solve karenge? That's the next slide. Okay, but these are broadly the main challenges. Number 2, time pressures. There is, once you start building on it, the founders keep putting pressure on the team. Jaldi karo, we don't have time, we have to launch it. So a lot of times these people who are working on the prototype, they have reverse pressure कि इसको launch करना है, जल्दी launch करना है इसको, जल्दी commercial to bring it back to the market. So there is time pressure. Technical expertise, if it is a very hi-fi product, hi-fi concept, okay, everybody will not have the expertise to work on it. And with a shoestring budget, it is not possible or feasible to get people with the right caliber. So getting the right kind of expertise to work in a prototype at times becomes a very important bottleneck. User misalignment. Prototype बना रहा हूँ, I'm supposed to work on it and get it tested from a user. But if my user who's identified is wrong, the whole thing goes for a toss. You understand that? जिसको बेचना है, जिससे टेस्ट कर रहा हूँ, अगर that person is incorrect, if I have not been able to sense the market properly, if I have not been able to profile that customer properly, जिसके through मैं टेस्ट करने वाला हूँ, if that person is wrong, that means the feedback which I'm getting is wrong. That becomes a big bottleneck. Material selection, especially if it's a manufacturing product, the kind of material that I use, let's say if I'm making a machine or a tool, material use कर रहा हूँ, that material will never give me if the material is incorrect, that material will never give me the right kind of impact. Overcomplication, at times we tend to overcomplify. we go to the minutest of details. कभी ज़रूरी होता है, कभी it is avoidable. So at times we try and make it overcomplicated, right? We try and get a feedback of every small thing which can be avoided. Stakeholder expectations. What is this? What is stakeholder expectations? We spoke about a stakeholder. They expect too much from a team. They are not realistic. Testing and feedback. We are not able to do it properly. I'll come to the strategy. How do we overcome this? Address resource constraints. शुरू में when we have a limited budget, use resources in a very frugal manner. Don't go overboard. जो concept है उस पे काम करो. Don't go overboard. Manage your time effectively. Get the right kind of people. Doing proper research is very important. Identifying the right kind of person. जो आपका end customer है and आपका user जिससे आप feedback ले रहे हो, those profiles have to match. Because selling to person A and taking a feedback from person B is not going to give you the right impact. Materials, ठीक है? Okay, I think let me come to that case study. Ola Cab. So when Ola Cab started off, how did they start? Who started Ola Cabs? भावेश अग्रवाल. ठीक है? So कैसे start हुआ था?
स्टेशन या बस स्टॉप के बाहर.
Sorry.
बस स्टैंड और रेलवे स्टेशन के बाहर टैक्सी का.
They started off with this. Initially, the premise was local travel chodo. Let's offer a service which will take care of your intercity taxi service, right? So, outstation cab rental service. They launched it. Product क्या बनाया? They made a prototype. They made a simple website for intercity. Chandigarh Ludhiana, Chandigarh, for example, Chandigarh Ludhiana, Chandigarh Amritsar, Chandigarh Delhi. ठीक है? They started off with the intercity cab service. Prototype बनाया, market में दिया. They said they went out to the market, identified the customers, took a feedback. People said, this is not what we want. What we want is intra-city travel. Within a city, if I want to go from A to B, if I want to go from sector 17 to sector 35, ठीक है? If I want to go from within Delhi, if I want to go from Connaught Place to Chanakyapuri, okay, just an example, उसके लिए क्या कर सकते हो आप? So that is the feedback which they got. So what did they do? They shifted their focus to urban ride-hailing service intra-city. They continued with the intercity, but they brought their focus to a intra-city and made it a premium intra-city cab service. ठीक है? They created a new, they नया बनाया platform. They made a new platform. ठीक है? They started tracking real-time activities. Driver कब शुरू हो रहे हैं? Where has he reached? They incorporate GPS. ठीक है? The whole service of intra-city travel became more comfortable and more accessible. ठीक है? They kept on refining it. They kept on going back to the market, added a lot of new things. ठीक है? So ultimately what I'm trying to say is they started off with the intercity, basis customer feedback, they brought it to intra-city. So they kept on expanding regularly, their platform expanded, and we all know where Ola is today. Now this is a company which actually failed. And proper validation is one of the reasons why it failed. You've heard about this product called Segway scooters? सुना है किसी ने? Anybody who's heard? Segway scooter is motorized, एक छोटा सा scooter था, okay, which a company launched. They thought they will revolutionize the personal transport system, ठीक है? But the company bombed. Company failed. Why? There are broad reasons. There are overhead expectations. They thought they'll revolutionize the market, okay, but there was too much of hype, too much of expectations, and reality कुछ और थी. High cost. It was launched at $5,000. You can do your maths. $5,000 at today's rate, 85 के आसपास is about 4.25, 4.74 lakh. Imagine it was few years back, even then 3 to 4 lakh. So 3 to 4 lakhs का एक personal transportation scooter जिसका which had no market, no clear use case, इसको use क्या करना है? It was too fast on the sidewalks. If you take it on the walking track, it was very fast for that. If you take it on the main roads, it was too slow. So people didn't know कि हम इसको अगर 4.25 लाख रुपए करके, if you're buying a product worth $5,000, how do we use it? Right? Regulatory challenges. Lot of cities banned the product because they weren't aware of it. इसका use कैसे करना है? There was no target market. They could not understand the profile of the customer. Who is that typical profile of the customer who is going to be using it? Right? Infrastructure issues. Because this kind of scooter required charging, required parking. The city was not aware of it. So in such a way. And the last point, their founders were working on it very, very secretly. They thought we have a wonderful idea. They did no research. They did no market validation. They launched it after having spent trillions of dollars, but the market wasn't ready to accept it. इस प्रोडक्ट को क्या करना है, कौन यूज करेगा, कहाँ लेके जाएंगे, at a $5,000, $4.5 लाख की चीज को 4.5 lakhs का you can get a early stage car, early segment car, or a premium, very premium motorcycle, motorbike. So they were not clear who is the target customer, किसको बेचना है, कैसे बेचना है, वो कस्टमर उसका करेगा क्या. All this could have been solved if they had done a proper validation, if they had done a proper prototyping. They failed to do this, and this was one of the reasons why this company failed. Right? Thank you. Any questions? Any questions with prototyping, importance, use case, कब, कहाँ, कैसे? Yeah, please.
Sir, just a prototype, like in prototyping, there can be cases when we have to make multiple prototypes. Like we made a prototype, we get the validation and customer reviews, and they tell the changes and we make it. There can be 4 to 5 prototypes that we make. So don't you think that rather than being cost effective, it is leading to more cost?
But see, you're right. But look at it from this point. If they had not made prototypes,
there are benefits, no doubt. I agree. But
so it's a cost-benefit analysis. You look at the short-term cost or long-term cost. If you try to squeeze on the initial costs, you come up with a product which might bomb like Segway scooters, right? So what is more important to you, the short-term cost or long-term cost? Once you think that ये product चलेगा, basis your assumption, basis your gut feel, basis your own, you launch the market. When you launch the market like Google Glass or maybe like let's say Segway, market says no, we don't want this. Whether it's a B2C or a D2C or a B2B model or a B2G model, irrespective, okay? Unless there is product acceptance, it doesn't make sense to launch a product. And this product acceptance will be only tested if you have a proper prototype. Whether you have one prototype or 4 prototypes.
it is important too, sir. But for like any student startup, so bearing those initial costs can be a big burden without any foreign investment.
That is how your government grants come to the picture. There are a lot of government grants. You launch a concept. You get incubated in any government-centric incubator. There are a lot of incubators.
But then that hurdle comes into picture that you just told, that the investors also have too much expectations from the prototype and the product and the market.
2 things. When you get a government grant, it's a grant. It's not an investment. Investors will never very rarely touch a concept at a very early stage. Investors आते हैं picture में बाद में. So there are concepts like MVP, there are concepts like PMF. Anybody knows what is PMF?
Product market.
Product market fit. What is product market fit?
When your product is ready to commercialize.
When your product is ready to be commercialized, commercially launched, that is what the commercial. Because शुरू में आपकी sales ऐसे होती हैं. Moment your product stage reaches PMF, the sales go up. So unless your product reaches PMF stage, no investor will touch you. I will not say no. Very little investors will touch you. तब तक whatever funding you need, you basically need funding from your friends and family, and government grants. You use government grants to test your product, to do your market validation, to bring it to a level which is ready for PMF. उसके बाद your angel investors, VCs will start getting in touch with you. So there are multiple stages. So tomorrow we have a session of making a pitch deck preparation, making a pitch deck, and what are investor expectations. I'll only take it. We'll cover all those points tomorrow afternoon. Take it. Yeah, please.
What would be your advice to someone that what should be kept in private, an idea or a prototype?
What should be kept in private?
At privacy,
Privacy.
founder को क्या करना चाहिए? एक idea को privacy में रखना चाहिए?
Don't even think about privacy. Ultimately, I'll tell you from an investor perspective, there are millions of ideas floating around. It is very easy to copy the idea कि मैं भी करता हूँ, but what really matters is execution. You may have a brilliant idea. People might copy it from you, जो हम भी करते हैं. So it all depends who will be able to execute it. So execution is more important than idea. Don't focus too much of time on idea. Idea आ गया ठीक है, move it, आगे चलो. Make a business plan. आपका business model क्या है? B2B, B2C, D2C कैसे launch करोगे? Customer कौन सा है आपका? Market कितनी बड़ी है? ठीक है? What is your USP over competitors? ठीक है? Focus on the business model. Focus on execution. Ideas can be copied. Google wasn't the first search engine, right? Google से पहले Yahoo था. Right? So don't spend too much of time worrying about the idea. जिसको कॉपी करना कॉपी तब भी कर लेगा. Spend your time and energy on execution.
Chat GPT is not the first AI chatbot.
उसके बाद DeepSeek आ गया, right? Is DeepSeek the first AI tool? नहीं. Look where DeepSeek is. Got it? Yeah.
आपने भी तो आइडिया किसी का कॉपी किया होगा.
It's okay. I mean, honestly बोल रहा हूँ. I've been a part of this industry for some time. You speak to anybody. Forget me. You speak to anybody. Everybody will realize idea आ गया. Forget the privacy part. How do you execute this? That is more important. How will you launch it? How do you ensure that your idea is accepted in the market? That is more important. You see, nobody bothers.
सबसे पहले मोबाइल कौन सा है? अब कहाँ है? अरे अब कहाँ है नोकिया? कभी बोर्ड पड़ा उसका?
There are हजार examples. Nokia का क्या हो गया? Kodak camera. Look at Kodak camera. What happened to it? So there are multiple examples. Anybody else? Any doubt, question, clarification? Your own experience? No? Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful and hands-on session. Your expertise has provided us with valuable knowledge on prototype creation and product development. We truly appreciate your time and guidance. Now I would like to invite all faculty members, organizing team and all the participants for the group photo dance. Thank you.